and welcome back. Today's video will focus on how imposter syndrome impacts their leadership and decision making. So, as a leader of a team, an organization, a division, or as a business owner, we want to show up as your full self. You want to let everyone know I have this, right? I'm in control. I can make decisions. I'm confident in my role. But imposter syndrome can show up in a way that really have us second guessing ourselves, right? It's not only second guessing ourselves, but second guessing the decisions that we need to make. And as a leader, our goal is to show up. I have control. I got this. No need to worry. But the imposter syndrome is sitting underneath. And I'm curious if you think other people are aware of what's showing up, right? And some would assume, no, I covered up well. They don't know. But how do you show up in the room? Your presence. We talked about it in some previous videos of how we could retreat and how you shrink and your presence and not speaking up, right? And so I'm curious if you think that shows up or not, right? When you're leading teams and when you're trying to make decisions, right? And so it's important to think about how you're showing up and also your body language. Although your head is saying, you know what, I'm not worried, I got this, I'm suppressing all of those thoughts, but what is your body language saying? What are you actually saying when you have to make a decision, right? When you have to make a decision, do you second guess your decision? Meaning, you're asked to make a decision. You're like, all right, yeah, I'll make that decision. Let me think on it. You 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 start to procrastinate. And as you start to procrastinate, what does that do? What is the impact of the procrastination on the decision making? Is someone waiting for you to make that decision? Should you have made that decision already? Was it a decision that you could have made on the spot? Did you really have to think about it? And so, what's the impact of the decision making process, right? So, you've made the decision. After you made the decision, you go back and say, maybe that wasn't the right decision. Maybe I should let my team know I'm going to change that decision. Have you had a time where you even went back and changed your decision? Not because you got more information, not because the circumstances changed, but you decided to change your decision. So, how is imposter syndrome impacting your decision making and your leadership? And as a leader, people are coming to you for answers. People are coming to you for leadership. People are coming to you because they know you have the knowledge. Also, when we think about decision making, are there times that you delegate a decision that you should be making because you don't feel qualified to make the decision? You don't feel like you should be the person making the decision. Are you the leader of the organization, but there's someone that you've allowed to make decisions that you should be making because they are more qualified than you? How do you take information from your team, right? This is something that I've used in the past, and I would share with you. I've always told my team members, I'm happy to listen to everyone's opinion. I'm happy to get feedback from everyone. But what I cannot guarantee is your feedback will be my final decision because I'm taking pieces and parts from everyone. And I'm taking that information to inform a decision I have to make. So are there times when your imposter syndrome shows up where you don't feel confident enough, where you've allowed someone to make a decision on your behalf, or you've allowed a team member to heavily influence a decision, or you just didn't make any decisions at all, right? So I want you to think about how imposter syndrome impacts your leadership and how it impacts decision making. So in every video, we always take a time to reflect. So pull out your pencil and paper. I want you to write down, when has there been a time? When was the last time you deferred a decision, didn't make the decision, or second guessed that decision? Yes, that's a loaded question, but I want you to Pause the video if you need to, rewind it. When is the last time that you've deferred a decision, you've allowed someone else to make that decision, or you second guessed that decision? And what was the impact? If you say, well, there was no impact, can you say that for sure? Did someone come back and ask you for feedback, or did they go to that other person that you allowed to make that decision on your behalf? So I want you to think about how imposter syndrome shows up as a leader and how it can impact your decision making. So go ahead and do your reflection. I'll see you in the next video.